snow was the key. And he said it was such a good idea, I figured it had to be done.
Was it fun to suddenly be the lead of the movies?
It was great. It was great. I'm so happy.
I was kind of thinking about that era this morning. I was like, Mel Brooks in that moment was like Beyonce.
Yeah.
You became the superstar.
Yeah. Just a joke.
You have fans all over the world. They're waiting every year to see a new Melbourne film. But you take such a long time.
Well, you know, to make a good film,
How do you do it?
to make a good film, here's anything. You do it. You take your shoulder, take it like this, put it all together. Then the bones tell you, yes, gypsy. I do a film, a gypsy. The government is two governments: the French government, Romanian government, Hungarian government. Here's three governments. I take the government and make a film and make three governments. The common market is a government. See, it's more complicated than that, I assure you. What I'm trying to illustrate in a very common sense is that the planning of a film is often the largest part. That is the writing. A concept captured in a script is the most important part of the film. The rest of it is important too, but the script is 90%. Yes. I know a lot. I've been around. I'm very sophisticated. Yes, I drink white wine with fish. I know everything.
There's nothing more delicate in certain ways than a comic. I mean, it's very delicate because you can take a particular joke, and if it's not presented in the proper way, it doesn't work. I'd say on one particular gag in silent movie, I think we must recut it about 10 times. Yeah, now it's a little laugh. It's not big enough. It's a big laugh. There's a big laugh here, and then it would go. What about etc. And then suddenly they're not a little. I want to see people doubled up. They can't breathe. I do remember on my anxiety, I was thinking in terms of Psycho. You public want to see your movie tonight?
Barry Levinson, who looks just like you, I swear to God, Barry Levinson, who's the bellboy.
Here's your key. I'll bring you back in a minute.
He's the bellboy in the hotel, and he attacks me in the shower, like Psycho.
I was making fun of it one day, and I was saying like the bell. I was going
With the newspaper.
if it was a worthwhile idea, then you run with it. If it wasn't, then you move on to something else. But he was very open to that.
That kid gets no tip.
We didn't just write it. We were there on the set when it was being shot. So we were there every day of the shoot. There'd be a moment and you thought, well, maybe that could be a better, you know. And you go over to Mel. Mel, I was wondering, and then he would go, hold it, we're not moving on. Barry's not happy. You know, it's making you feel embarrassed. You know.
What kind of role do you think you would have gotten if you weren't writing your own?
Oh, my favorite role would be the King of Germany, the Kaiser. That would be, no. I made myself a leading man in High Anxiety because I always wanted to imitate Frank Sinatra. High Anxiety. I guess I made myself a leading man because in real life I knew I could never be a leading man. My heart's afraid by it's crashed before. But then you take my hand, my heart starts to soar once more. My anxiety.
You grew up, there were a lot of Jewish kids. So what did it mean that there was people like Mel out there just as a Jewish performer, writer, director, producer?
There's not anybody our age or that didn't have the pride of Mel being Jewish and being
that dude you quote all the time? He's one of us.
I just never seen anything like it. Being Jewish in a lot of communities is like something that you come out. It's almost like being gay, you know, like to be proud of it. It would be it's like it was crazy.
He was so Jewish, but he was kind of cool. Like he was cooler to me than like Woody Allen, for any number of reasons. But he didn't, you know, he looked the way he looked, but he had so much charisma, and he was very confident. That's the thing I got from him. He was super confident, and he had no problem going for it.
That was the kind of guy that you felt like Sinatra would be like, holy shit. Let me say it. He just was the shit. I got to give in. I am sorry. And remember, folks, these are they think you win.
I didn't talk to you about working in a movie with Mel.
For years, we never wanted to work together because we thought it would be terrible.
My whole life, because I love you. Oh, I just
Well, you hear that, honey? Right in your pot.
Hard for me to watch her. She was so good. Look at her eyes. She does it. She matches it. She's amazing. She did that as a favor.
That's probably why you fell in love with Annie. You didn't know that she could do that weird.
No, it's true. I found that out much later in our marriage. One day she was putting on makeup, and I always, you know, men like to do that to watch how they do, so they can do it later when they go out of town.
That's right.
So I was watching, and she was doing everything, and then suddenly she did that. She closed her eyes,
Yeah.
and I said, one day I'm going to do a movie. You're going to do that in the movie. And she said, oh yeah, shoot. You know, and she did it. And it was really incredible. We couldn't believe it. Marty couldn't believe it. Marty Feldman, who has eye, one in Chicago, one in Cincinnati. Oh my goodness. That's not- I mean, all of you out there who are married know. No, only the cost each other's plenty in receipt. Well, we don't allow you. We don't allow you to reach. No. I had no idea. I had no idea my wife was coming. But it's always a pleasure to see you. You want to do, what was the, what was the big one we used to do years ago? What was it? No. Now, we can do a video. Okay, here we go. You do it. What about I'll do the. I think I can do this. No, you. Bells are ringing for me and my gal. Birds are singing for me and
doubles match, which pitted Penny Marshall and Mel Brooks against Carl Reiner and guess who?
Point, set, match. Marshall and Brooks, they win 4 games to 3 in the tiebreaker.
Could I ask you a question? When you and Mel spend a quiet evening at home, is it as animated as I see you? When I talk to Mel, it's very animated, and you are.
I don't think we've ever really talked. You know what I mean? I mean, we never sit down and say, well, what did you do today?
Well, how do you know the marriage is working?
I don't. I don't know. Tell me, is it? I don't even know if he likes me.
I'll sell you his interview. You want to buy it?
Oh!
Does he like you?
What I thought I could know.
He says the girl took the fuzz off the ball. He says because he is baldy, he has no top spin. Tanti grazie per tutte. Io voglio dice tutti amici a chi io voglio sexual activity in room 412.
My father used to refer to him as a doctor because he read more medical journals. I mean, if you didn't have the money to go visit a doctor, you could go to Mel. And I always thought, even though Mel was only like 4 years younger than my dad, I think he looked to my dad as a figure.
Rob was saying like he thought in some ways Carl was almost like a father figure to you.
Yeah, well, I lost my father when I was 2 years old.
Yeah.
And I was always, I think, unconsciously searching for guidance from an older man.
Yeah.
And Carl was nice and tall. I literally looked up to Carl.
Yeah.
And Carl, for all his shtick and insanity, was wise and loving. And I just said, that's my father. I felt that Carl was there. I was very close to him.
And then when you hear all these stories about Mel, with your dad, Norman Lear, Dom DeLuise, Mary Gelbart, this is like incredible group of people who hung out.
And they would spend weekends together, and they each had their own comedy skill set that it was like, just let's make each other laugh and have fun.
It was the most laughter I've ever been involved with, ever in my life. Nobody ever laughed like that. And we realized this is a club. We decided to call ourselves Yenim. Yenim Veld, which is a Yiddish term for the other word.
I knew the guy who had the house and invited us to take that anytime. I put it together, 5 bedrooms, and one bedroom was about 4 inches larger than the other bedroom.
It was much bigger.
And I took that bedroom. He never stopped resenting it. He told me at lunch just a few years ago.
Mel thought when he got slapped in the ass by the doctor who delivered him that was applause. And he has not stopped performing since. Was not, and there is nobody.
What do you think of Neuport? I can say that I think he is the only authentic genius that I've ever met. The reasons why. But I'm not here. I had the greatest theatrical experiences of my life working with him. And sexual experiences. And on Young Frankenstein, we did something that was unique. We both wrote, he directed, and I feel that now, with Mel directing and acting scripts that he's written, he is gearing those scripts for himself as a performer. So those scripts are shaped according to his talent, what he wants to do as a performer. For me to just step in, it would be a little bit crazy because it wouldn't be right for me. And I've come to the conclusion that the only way that it will be right for us to create magic again will be for us both to write, him to direct, and me to star. And since I'm one of the few people in the world who want nothing from him, I'm going to wait until that day comes when he says, I'm ready.
I've come on the most urgent of business. It is said that the people are revolting.
Who said it? They stink on us.
No, Your Majesty, this is a very serious problem. The peasants feel you have no regard for them.
What? I have no regard for the peasants. They are my people. I am their sovereign. I love them. Oh! 50 to the left.
You must always go for the essence of the film.
Oh!
Felt like a stone. What is the film about?
Shall we continue to build palace after palace for the rich? Or shall we aspire to a more noble purpose and build decent housing for the poor?
Fuck the poor! The next movie I'm making, it's behind me on the wall here, is Mel Brooks' History of the World, Part 1. This will be the Stone Age. And the first man to masturbate, we will freeze the frame and say, our forefathers.
All pay heed! The Lord Jehovah, has given unto you these 15. 10 commandments!
And then we'll land, and the next bit will be the Roman Empire.
Occupation.
Stand-up philosophy. I coalesce the bait of human experience into a viable and logical comprehension.
Oh, a bullshit artist.
We continue to show that the administrators,
Oh, Caesar!
the leaders, the kings, are animals and poop. That's just a little philosophical point. Say when?
8:30.
We move from the Roman Empire
For now begins the Inquisition.
over to the Spanish Inquisition. The Inquisition. Let's begin the Inquisition. Look out, see, we have a mission to convert the Jews. Victor Torquemada who came and took Jews, put them on racks, broke their bones, and we're gonna make a Busby Berkeley musical number out of the Spanish Inquisition. First, don't be boring. Say yes, don't be dull. A fact you're ignoring. It's better to lose your skull cap than your skull. Oh, you're
Inquisition.
Oh, the Inquisition. Shit, we didn't talk about that.
This is fucking batshit, and it is the most delightful thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's full on, truly brilliant musical theater Broadway level.
Skip, scap, voodoo, bap. When you could fight. No. When you confess. No. When you could fight. No. When you say yes. No.
Oh, shit.
Don't ask in a nice way.